So in the introduction, I mentioned that the modes are created basically by taking major scales and sort of turning them inside out. Now I'm going to get into a little more detail about what I mean by that. You will need, in order to get a really good understanding of this, you will need to have a good understanding of what a major scale is and what's kind of going on with it. So if you don't feel like you do, I really recommend that you check out the first mini clinic on my website, which is called Practical Music Theory for Guitar Players. That'll give you a good grip on what a major scale really is, and then you'll be able to understand it going forward here. So basically, to create the modes, what we do is we sort of take a major scale, but we move the root around, so we treat the different notes within the scale as the root note. And that's sort of what creates all of these different sounds. And I'm going to demonstrate what I mean by that on a piano. I hate to take you back to a piano, but it's the easiest way to visualize all this. As always, we're going to start with a C major scale because it's the easiest one to picture on a piano. It doesn't involve any of the black keys, any of the sharp or flat notes. It's all white keys. And so it'll be easier to visualize. Again, I'll apologize for the crappiness of both my piano and my piano skills. So if you remember, you just make a C major scale by going on the white keys on a piano from one C up to the next C. And the C Ionian mode is the same thing as a major scale. And to give you a little better example of what that sounds like, I'll play the C with my left hand, and then I'm just going to play around with my right hand on the notes of the C major scale. And this is the sound of the Ionian mode. Now to create all the other modes that are derived from C major, all I do is change the bass note in my left hand. So I'm going to move the bass note up to D, and I'm going to still use the notes of C major in my right hand, and this is going to give me the D Dorian mode. You can hear how it has a darker sound than the Ionian mode. Now if I move my left hand again up to E, third degree of the C major scale, and I keep using the notes of C major in my right hand, I now have the E Phrygian mode. Here's what that sounds like. That's the E Phrygian mode. Now I'm going to move my bass note to F, and again I'll still be using the notes of C major here, but over the F bass note, and that's going to give me the F Lydian mode. Bass note to G. This is going to give me the G Mixolydian mode. Move the bass to A. Now I have the A Aeolian mode. And finally, I'll move the left hand note to B. And this is going to give me the B Locrian mode. Okay, so to help clarify things a little more, now I'm going to try some examples in the key of A major. The A major scale is A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And then the A Ionian mode is the same as the A major scale, so here's A Ionian. And now with my left hand, I'm just going to work up the notes of the A major scale to create all the different modes that are derived from A major. So if I move up to the second note of the scale, B, and then I keep A Ionian notes or A major notes in my right hand, I now have B Dorian. Now if I move my left hand up to C sharp in the bass and keep the notes of A major, I'll have the C sharp Phrygian mode. left hand up to the D, and keeping the notes of A major in my right hand, this will give me the D Lydian mode. Move the bass note to E, and now I have the E Mixolydian mode. Now if I move the bass note to F sharp in my left hand and keep the notes of A major in the right hand, now I have F sharp Aeolian. And then finally I move my left hand to G sharp, and this is going to give me G sharp Locrian. So just remember that all of those concepts can be transposed to any key, and if you need help doing that, you can look at the table of major scales on my website. So that's the gist of how we create the modes. We take a major scale, but we treat the different notes within that scale as root notes, and as we move the root note around, it sort of changes the whole tonality of the scale, or changes the musical color of the scale. A little further ahead in this mini clinic, we'll get into how to translate that to the guitar.